Hi, this is a short video introducing you to facilitate continuous improvement. Now, my name is Bjarne Sørensen, and on the screen here you can see my contact details in case you need to have a talk to me at some stage. Now, I got interested in continuous improvement back in the early 1990s. I had just finished the Danish version of TAFE. You can probably hear I got a bit of an accent. I'm from Denmark, and I had just finished the Danish version of TAFE when I got a job for this company. Now, this is almost like a tiny bitty version of IKEA. They target smaller cities than those that are targeted by IKEA, but they otherwise have a similar range of products. Now, at the time when I finished my TAFE diploma, um, they were expanding in the United States, and I had a desire to go to the United States, so I sent them an application and I got an interview, and a few weeks later they told me I got a job as manager for one of their stores after a short training period. Now, unfortunately, they didn't send me to the United States. They sent me instead pretty much up to the North Pole, up at the very, very top of Norway. So that was a bit of a bummer, but it was still a very good experience working for this company. They did a lot of things right, hence they were expanding rapidly, and they very recently just started to move into Indonesia. So we might see them here in Australia soon as well. But working for this company also taught me about the importance of continuous improvement, of the ability to identify errors and correct them. Now, when I worked up at the very top here of Norway in a town called Tromsø, um, I had to deal with customers who came to our store and who couldn't get the products that they had seen on television. And this all boiled down to our marketing department at the corporate headquarters in Denmark, that tiny bitty country just there. Um, this is some of the corporate headquarters. There was a marketing department at the corporate headquarters, and there was a warehouse and a purchasing department. And for some reason, marketing continuously advertised products that our warehouse or purchasing couldn't deliver to the stores. What happened up in the very northern part of Norway and across a lot of the other stores was that customers would drive to these stores and be told that unfortunately we didn't have the things they saw on telly. And obviously, customers would get very frustrated. Now, this problem occurred again and again for the 2 years I worked for this company. And it didn't seem like there was any willingness to actually fix it. Um, After a couple of years, I sort of got a bit annoyed dealing with this problem pretty much every day. And I quit my job. Uh, Before I quit my job, I enrolled at a university in the United States that focused on continuous improvement, on how to fix these problems that are built into so many of the businesses that we work for. Now, um, these studies that I undertook in the United States uh, were very interesting, and it's something that I've been keenly interested in ever since. It is a fascinating topic, and I think you'll actually quite enjoy this unit as I did. So, continuous improvement is about engaging all the staff that works for a business or an organization, any organization, whether it be non for profit, government, or private businesses, and getting all these staff to help eliminate inefficiencies so that a business can perform better. Now, in this unit, there are three main topics that will be covered. You can read more about these topics in your student materials, but the course is basically structured around these three topics. Now, what is continuous improvement? Continuous improvement is about continuously making small improvements aimed at satisfying customers. And the belief is that we do things all the time, but often they can be done better and smarter than what is currently the case. Um, it is about making small improvements, not big radical changes. A lot of businesses go through transformations. That is something else. That is not continuous improvement. That is change management. But continuous improvement is about doing 100 things 1% better every day, every week, every month, so that we keep getting better and better and better all the time. It is about setting up the right processes and systems in your business or in your organization so that this can actually happen. Now, according to Toyota, or at least the former Toyota executive, um, most businesses have a lot of waste in the way in which they conduct their operations. An example of this: last time you wrote an assignment, I certainly know last time I wrote an assignment for a course I did. When I look back at how I actually wrote that assignment, I would sit down by a computer, I'll start writing something, then I'll go on the internet, read the news, maybe listen to some music, go out, get a cup of coffee. I'll do all sorts of things that were not actually progressing my assignment. And this, what you're seeing on your screen right now, that a lot of business processes are 90% waste and only 10% value added work, certainly rings true for when I write an assignment. And I think it probably rings true for a lot of you guys as well. Um, Much the same way, in business, unfortunately, we are often doing wasteful things. Wasteful things are something that are not adding value. We should be focused on satisfying customer needs and wants. And anything that we are doing that doesn't actually work toward that end might very well be wasteful. So if you're filling out forms at work, if these forms are not contributing to the ultimate customer experience, then should you be doing these forms? That is what Toyota is trying to basically the philosophy that they have been trying to adopt in their corporation. And there is a very, very interesting book about how Toyota has managed to really cut a lot of this waste. It's called The Toyota Way, and it's an absolutely brilliant book. I can recommend anyone should really read that. Works um, anywhere. There are some really good insights in that book. Now, part of continuous improvement is a change in the way we operate a business. Now, if you see a traditional production line, it'll often look something like this. It doesn't matter whether we have products or services. It's a bit easier to understand when we talk about products. So in this course, we'll mainly talk about products. But the same principles as we are covering in this unit applies just as well to the creation of services. Now, here we got a production line. When you look at this production line, there's a lot of supervision. There's a lot of managers who looks over the shoulders of their staff to make sure that they perform the task that they have been given. Now, this, according to continuous improvement, is not an ideal structure. At the very end of the production line, we got inspection teams who will make sure that quality has been built into products or services. Quite often under this production line structure, there will be a lot of faults built into the products because the people are not actually there to necessarily build quality. They're there to do what they're told. And often the bosses at the top don't actually understand what the complexities and the problems are that are happening at the production line. Now, a much better structure, or as a matter of fact, here Cole, the textbook for this unit, a very good management textbook. You can see the title down here. Um, uh, argues that a problem that cost $1 to fix in advance will often cost $20 to fix during a process and $50 to fix afterwards. So this inspection team that identifies problems built into products will end up spending a lot of money fixing these problems. So if we were to implement continuous improvement or lean, which is basically the Toyota production system, um, we would want to design a production line that look more like this. Here, staff members on that production line are divided into teams, and every now and then you need to shut down this production line, and you need to get people in these teams, or if not shut it down, at least take a team off the production line, maybe during a different shift. You need to get people within these teams to basically sit down and talk about how they can do the things that they do smarter, better, more efficient. These are the people that knows what the problems are, where the bottlenecks are, what is causing problems to be built into products or services. These are the people that knows what can be done better in their work area. It is not the bosses up here at the top. They often don't have a clue what is actually going on here in the production line. You need to involve the staff. It is the staff that can solve the problems, and you need to empower them and give them the authority and the time to actually fix problems in their area. Now, on the Toyota production line in Japan, there are cords hanging down, and anyone on their production line can pull that cord and stop the production line if they think an error is being built into a product. Now, you probably want to think carefully about actually stopping that production line. It's a fairly big thing to do. But the philosophy is that you do not accept any errors to be built into the products. And the reason for that is this, that it's a lot easier to fix something in advance, or at least during a process, than it is to have a big inspection team down the end of the production line to fix things afterwards. So you want you, you simply in continuous improvement you do not accept errors to be built into the products or services. You fix it up in a manner so that it'll never happen again. Now, if someone pulls this cord, or when someone pulls this cord, then a lot of people will get together and look at why an error was about to occur. And then they'll take action so that it'll never happen again. And this is how you create good flow, good production, quality products. And if you do it well enough, you don't actually need an inspection team down at the end of the production line because all these people here are engaged in inspection. They are checking things as it passes them. And if anything seems to be going wrong, they will take action immediately. Um, so, um, it's quite an interesting system, and that is really what this course is all about. how you can engage staff in your work area to ensure that they every day, every week, every month think about what they're doing and how it could be done smarter, better, smarter, faster, cheaper, or simply some other ways, maybe. Um, that is what this course here is all about. And I hope you'll enjoy it. And the next task is basically just to read on. Now, when you do not build quality into products, it can be a very costly affair, as is illustrated here. Now, Takata airbags are a very big brand of airbags. You might have had a car that was recalled due to faulty airbags. They had a factory in Mexico where unfortunately there were some problems built into their products. So before we saw that Chris Cole said that the problem that cost $1 to fix in advance might cost $20 during the process and $50 to fix after a product has been finished. This is an example of it costing a whole lot more. So do things right the first time and you can potentially save your corporation, your business, your organization for a lot of money. All right, that's it for this session, and I hope you will enjoy this course.